You and I truly live in the greatest South Park timeline known to man, and I understand that the title of this video is a little bit crazy, but let me cook just a little bit, because it wasn't that long ago, and I remember this because I grew up in this timeline where if you were white and you were caught on the hot mic saying a slur of any kind, that would usually be the end of your reputation as you knew it. You couldn't associate with your friends. Maybe some of your family members didn't want to associate with you. You would get fired from your job and you couldn't land a new one because you would go in for the job interview in the hopes that you could try to still make some money in this world, and they would see your name and they would dig up any information on you and they would know that, hey, you're a belligerent fool who would say a slur, and they wouldn't want to hire you, to the point where you would have to hope that once you moved somewhere else, nobody knew who you were and you could restart your life anew. But we don't live in that timeline anymore, because after all the time of being belittled and being called racist for just standing there in any given direction and not really holding too much weight in the definition of a word racist and mischaracterizing a few people along the way, there are some white people out there who are a little bit sick of it, and they will probably puff their chest out and say how sick they are of being called something that they're not. But there is a problem with that. It's when some of those white people start to champion something that might get them thrown into a little bit of hot water. And sometimes it's a little bit of mischaracterization, and other times it's just blatantly obvious, and some people are just doing it because they're bored out of their mind. Because now, for the second time in 1 year, we have a white woman hurling a slur and is about to walk away with a lot of money.
I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are an
idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you? You fuck out of
Ugly?
my face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You think your body makes you a better person?
Are you recording?
I'm gonna record you. Yes.
Do you want me to throw water on you or something? I would get the face with your recording.
You better. Fuck out of here. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talking about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. Gonna be working here.
Just hiding your fucking
No, we're
face
not.
for
No,
what?
we're not. No, we're not.
Because you know damn well you're
That's
fucking
respect.
evil.
That's
fucks.
respect. That's
It's
respect.
disrespectful.
That's respect.
Disrespectful.
Hey, keep pushing, keep squeezing that caramel, bitch. Get the fuck out of
For
here.
you. That was meant for you.
And while the Shiloh Hendrix has been talked about before, in regards to the Cinnabon lady, I'm a little bit confused at the white people who are throwing their money at her for a few reasons. Number one being, we all know, no matter black, white, Asian, Mexican, and I guess because of the conversation around this Cinnabon lady, political affiliation, because apparently it's a shocker that this woman was someone who voted for Biden and Kamala.
Well, Harry Sisson says that it was a MAGA woman who was the Cinnabon employee.
Trump supporter just got caught on camera being racist to a Somalian couple in a Cinnabon in Wisconsin, and the video went so viral.
There's only one problem with that claim. This was posted to her Facebook account. Look at what we have here. Does it say Biden-Harris? Is that a Biden-Harris sign on her lawn? And does it say Women's Choice Vote Democrat? Is that what that says? This was verified, by the way, by the news media, that this is real from her Facebook account. She certainly looks like a Trump supporter to me, doesn't she? This is what I'm talking about with the left, with the Harry Sissons, with the Aaron Parnases. All they care about is division. They sow division. They make Republicans look like racists when the narrative was clearly the opposite. This is a racist Democrat woman who voted for Joe Biden, and they tried to capitalize on this immediately and say, look at this MAGA supporter. We know better, don't we? All you gotta do sometimes is look just a little bit beneath the surface with these people to find the truth. They're usually always lying.
Sometimes you feel like you don't need to say something, but in the realm of this conversation, because for some reason it matters to these people who dedicated time to saying it, there are racist conservatives and there are racist Democrats. I don't know why there are people who will hear what I just said and say, no, they're not, when we could literally dedicate time to finding it and seeing it, and we won't have to do a goalpost move after. I understand that you hearing this might not be a racist, but you don't make up the entirety of your political party and the examples that have existed since you've been alive and before you were alive. So please, for the fuck of it, just accept it and let's carry on with the video. Yes, you will be fired from your job unless you're the owner of that company or you're fucking the owner of that company. You will be fired from that job if they catch you on camera on company time in the company workplace in company uniform hurling a slur. You could throw all the context you want at it. It's not going to stop that person from being fired from that job. And depending on how you want to navigate this story, because it's wild as fuck with no amount of context to really help anybody out, you're either going to believe that the employee was sexually harassed for not wearing a hijab by two Somalian people, or two Somalian people were sexually harassed by the employee, and it all stems from wanting extra caramel on a fucking cinnamon sweet. This shit is ridiculous. And as I'm recording this, I'm finding out we got a secondhand angle from this.
What's recording doing for you?
Just show me who you are before.
Get the out of here. You painted your face. I remember you without your face. Even though you pretend to be 5 different people, I still know who the you are. Just because you put a bandana on your fucking head, does not mean you can come back and harass me.
Oh, how are you?
She came with the white bitch. She came back as a black bitch. Go paint your face somewhere else, you fat, fucking ugly, bug-eyed
Psycho.
Damn right I am.
Yeah, you get to go out.
Psycho is? Psycho is, pertaining to the fucking mind.
No, you need to go to the hospital. You need to get some help.
You can't.
I can't, you're right, but I would. But I would.
Do it.
Come on and take that.
Shut the up.
And it has people wondering if the Somalian couple were running in with different pieces of face paint on at different points in time. And it's just the dumbest fucking timeline we could live in around the subject matter. But people saw this and they want to stand by the white woman, and they've been giving her money. And I believe at time of recording, it's at maybe 130,000+ at a goal that's maybe 200,000. And who knows, by the time I start editing this video, it'll probably have already reached that milestone. And in regards to the money, I'm confused as to why people are giving money to the Somalian couple, because apparently they're out there trying to get some money out of this, because I guess being called a slur warrants getting a bunch of money. But I'm also confused at this woman's give, send, go, because when I'm seeing this and I'm looking at all the reactions and then I'm watching the video again, I'm thinking about personal responsibility and how this woman, in the midst of being very upset about two Somalian people coming in, and I guess if we were to believe this, sexually harassing her for not wearing a hijab, I'm supposed to not factor in the personal responsibility of an employee on company time in the company workplace in a company uniform getting so mad that she's going to proudly state that she's a racist, hurl a slur, give the double bird, and tell them to suck it. Yes, she deserves to be fired, and personal responsibility plays a factor here. You mean to tell me you couldn't call for the manager? You mean you couldn't tell me that you wouldn't just serve them or not serve them and just go about your day not giving them any energy? Your immediate directive was to just blow it out your ass and then one with the consequences of it. And in regards to all these people who are saying this is the best of us, this is what it means to stand up against all these people who are coming in and ruining our country, this woman is not the beacon of white pride that you would want in your life. But I can't really tell people what to do with their money, because whenever there's any undying support for something, people are going to throw their money at anything. Need I remind y'all of what happened earlier this year with Carmelo Anthony and him stabbing a guy? And now we're seeing all these people give their money to the legal fees because they believe that he acted in self-defense, even though we don't have a crumb of information to back that up. So it really comes down to how people want to operate with their money. You either do it or you don't. It's not my burden to bear because I'm fucking broke. I ain't got no money to give to all these damn donations that pop up every fucking week. But back to the original point of how did we get here? We've gotten here because of the mountain of stupid moments that have existed where a person of color falls into just talking down and demonizing all of white people for varying degrees of examples or small examples that don't even affect anyone. Do you understand that currently there are people calling it racist that a company has a color of the year, something that they do every year, and they have different colors? They're mad and calling it racist because their color is some variation of a cloud or white.
To address some of the online comments, let me state clearly that white is indeed a color. We knew that people would have emotions about this year's color. When I first learned the color, I thought, oh, this is going to be pretty controversial. But the power of this program, the power of Pantone's color of the year, is that it sparks a conversation about color that everyone can participate in. At Pantone, we don't dictate that conversation, we facilitate it.
They chose white as color of the year. And this is why we need DEI, because if there was a couple people of color in that room, they probably would have told them that choosing the color white in this particular political atmosphere that we're in might not communicate what you're trying to communicate. And I'll admit, I did go onto the website and read the article and saw that it's within the context of a color palette of powdered pastels. And so many of the pastels that are in that palette are gorgeous colors. And for some reason, they still chose the white one. According to them, they chose the white one because it is a versatile color that provides scaffolding for the color spectrum, allowing all colors to shine. It's very much giving like, well, all lives matter, which, so, you know, white lives matter too. But they chose white. Of all colors, white. And like, part of me is like, listen, this is probably just an oversight, like they're not really trying to make a statement like that. But another part of me is like, genes are passed from parents to offspring.
Pantone choosing white or cloudy days as color of the year is a political statement. Call me too woke, I don't care. I don't think I'm wrong. It is a political statement. It's giving Sydney Sweeney has good genes. It's giving Mariah Carey saying the elves aren't working hard enough. It's a political statement. You're gonna choose white and market it as a soothing reset? For who, babe? Who is that soothing?
What happened? Tariffs got your pigments? Because this feels like a recession indicator. Or is this just your funny little way of signaling to everyone that you're switching to American manufacturing? Whatever that means. If this isn't the color of a hood, maybe it's a flag. Or, you know, the white light Americans are all seeing because democracy is. Did you forget to read The Room? Or did you read it and this is just our hex code now? K. No. I'm just kidding, but do you remember when that second good jeans commercial came out for Dunkin' Donuts like a week after the American Eagle ones? And I said, it's probably not like a straight up eugenics thing, but this is an indicator of something that's happening right now culturally. Yeah. This feels like a weird choice. But okay, Pantone, at best, let's just assume your whole staff is blind. Weird choice, but clearly none of them have looked around for the past year or 10. It's still kind of a weird choice, don't you think? Like a little bit behind the designed times. Not even the newest iPhone comes in white. Neutrals are on the way out and color is coming back in. So Pantone, why?
They're sitting there demonizing a company over a fucking color and making it this big ordeal. Do you understand that on top of false accusations of racism, false accusations of white supremacy, demonizing these poor crack addict white people who live in these shacks that y'all claim are somehow richer than a black person on EBT, it's led to a lot of people online believing that they're sick of being discriminated against. It's led them to believe that they are sick of being treated like second-class citizens, and now they're going to start supporting things as a gotcha and a fuck you to everybody else. Of course, they're going to start giving their money to somebody out there that hurled a slur and went viral because they see themselves in that person. Somebody demonized and attacked, again, with no context, no full context, or no real evidence to really dictate how this story goes, because I'm sorry, I'm not believing random insert motherfucker on Twitter here who just so happens to put report in front of every other fucking word in the tweet. There's really no substance here. They will see that and say, I don't like what's going on here. I'm going to support that. And you really can't stop it because, again, this is the second time this year where this has happened. And I fear we're going to see it a little bit more in 2026. The more everybody stays divided, the more people like to create their situations as perceiving themselves as better than the next person, all because of that beautiful skin they got on their body, the more you're going to see people revolt in ways that will piss you off, in ways that will have you scratching your head, in ways that will confuse you, because it will confuse you, but it will enlighten them. They will find a way to sit there and cheer on blatant stupidity as a means to just say, fuck the wokies, fuck these Somalians, fuck being called racist, fuck being called evil for just standing there. Make no mistake, this is confusing to see because I don't understand how there will be people who will support the woman in saying things like, I'm sick of white people being called racist, and then give their money to somebody who called themselves racist. But as long as we continue to have these examples of people, whether they be white or black, being demonized for things that have nothing to do with them, but in the grand scheme, we all like to generalize everybody, the more there will be something happening that clearly revolves around somebody not having their personal responsibilities in check and being supported by people who just want to say fuck it. Because that's really all this is. It's just people who are bored saying fuck it because they know it's going to make somebody mad. And it has successfully made a lot of people mad.
We may have hit peak America with this Cinnabon story. So there's a business that specifically sells cinnamon buns. They have locations all across America. A woman named Cynthia is working for one, and while on one of her shifts, she got into a spat with a few Somalians that now live in Minnesota. During this spat, that was recorded by one of those Somalians, Cynthia calls them the N-word and then gives them the middle finger and says, I am racist. She then goes viral, gets fired, and then somebody starts a give, send, go for her that has raised over $150,000 for her. I would personally donate my money elsewhere, but then again, I shouldn't be that surprised. We are talking about a situation that started at a business that strictly sells cinnamon buns. We clearly, as humans, aren't spending money in the right places. Cynthia is now launching a career in influencing and says that she cannot be racist because she has a biracial son. While this is all going on, people are saying that Cynthia was MAGA, and then MAGA saying no. Cynthia actually had Kamala signs in her front yard. I think if somebody woke up from a 30-year coma and needed some updating on what's going on in America, I would use this story. That would be a cinnamon bun store? Why the Somalians in Minnesota?
Did y'all see that this YT Cinnabon worker, that racist Cinnabon worker or whatever, blatantly, openly hurling slurs, the N-word, all this extra stuff, blase, 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 blah. So she was fired and stuff like that right there. And tell me why this dingbat, the motherfucking made a GoFundMe. And people is actually donating to that shit. It is so crazy. It's people out here homeless on their last. And y'all sit up there and raise, I think they said close to what, 80,000, 50,000, 60,000. Excuse me if I'm mistaken about the number. But any type of thousands, bitch, is ridiculous and crazy and motherfucking insane. She's sitting up there harassing, damn near verbally assaulting. But just because they're black, y'all in support of it? That's how I know racism still lives in this motherfucking country, bitch. Because it's so crazy how motherfuckers just literally in 24 hours, less than, raised that much money for a YT racist lady. Like, that is so fucking sad and sick as fuck. When I see shit like this, it make me literally, like, hate living on earth. Like, because I be like, just, it's people really still out here like that. That shit is so sad, bro.
And I'm going to be honest with you, because it's not a hot take to say we're going to see it more and more in 2026. Maybe not as much in terms of groundswell support, because 6 months ago, maybe even 7 months ago, Shiloh Hendrix almost walked away with 1 million. And this woman ain't really getting close to that million as much as she might hope to, or as much as people probably hope to get that thing up to. Because in case anybody forgot, that this is the worst time of year to try to start crowdfunding for something that damn stupid, because it's Christmas. And in case you still don't know, people got to buy Christmas gifts, people got bills. They can't keep coming back and supporting all these different moments of the same thing happening in time. So maybe it'll die out the more it happens in 2026, because everybody ain't got money to be doing this. Or maybe people will start showing up out the woodwork just to stand for something, and ultimately the world never really changes, because we'll still all hate each other in the grand scheme, while conveniently we are all together in the Kansas City Chiefs, hopefully not making the fucking playoffs, because fuck, it's time for that dynasty, or that perceived dynasty, to fucking end. In the meantime, though, I would hope you gave this a listen and understood the complexities as to why this is happening. Whether if you agree with it happening or not, I want to know how you perceive all of this in the comments down below. And I want to know how much you hate the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you know it's about time for another team to fucking shine. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.